So what I do is I just take the ribbon and I measure about 7 to 8 yards like this. Haha, I already did it. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then I cut it here. And all I did was take this lovely M&M and I simply tape the tabs of the M and the M. And what I did was make sure that I didn't go over the top with that ribbon so that it stays in place. And I just tuck it like this and on the other side, and then it's nice and strong, but nothing has to bend and everything will not fall apart. I'll do that one more time so you can see it. Just take the tip of the ribbon onto the tab. Don't go much over the tab. This piece of tape was way too big. You can adjust accordingly, and then just tape it right by the tab and up the ribbon. And there you have your dangle. I have chosen to put the bottom pointy part where we will be placing the battery pack. You'll put the actually weight on the battery. So as you will see, I have these 7 feet and I literally just went around and around and around and around and around and around. And then on these longer unfinished ends, I taped, or if I couldn't find it and it didn't match, then I just took a piece here, made it a little longer so the M&M could hang off of here. And that's where I taped my M&M. Then I take the top of my stake without the pointy part being at the bottom, and I literally just took more tape and taped on the ribbon. And it's not pretty and it's not fancy, but it does the job. And you don't need a hot glue gun. You don't need to burn your fingers. And it's just around like that. So it ends up looking like this. If you want to use more ribbon, you can, and I'll mail you more. But you have 500 feet on your spools of ribbon. Then you're gonna carefully unpick the wonderful fairy lights, but first remove the tab so that it will light up. And usually you need a pair of tweezers, and I'm sorry I didn't have them displayed. So you'll unpick the tab, then you very carefully unravel the fairy lights, all 10 feet of them. And the more careful you are, the less of a headache it will be. And you're going to carefully tape the fairy light pack down at the bottom of the stake. And you may need to double tape that, or if you feel like it, hot glue it, but I am not in the mood to burn my fingers. And as you can see, the tip is exposed. I'm just gonna cut mine off so nobody gets hurt. Then you'll very carefully wrap the fairy lights, keeping them on one side, and twist your stake. As you can see, it's twisting up nicely, and that's because it's ribbon, but the fairy lights are pretty easy to work with as long as you keep them straight. And my post just broke because I don't have the size that you have. I made it up, and I can continue to twist the fairy lights around. And as you can see, everything's getting twisty and funky up here, but don't worry, it'll all come together. And then as soon as you've got a nice twist of the lights and they're all the way up, then I suggest drooping them down like this, holding it in place with your finger, having prepared a few strips of tape, and literally again taping the end of the fairy lights. And then going back and choosing one or two places on the fairy light with a little bit of tape to reinforce so that they don't slide up and down. So congratulations, you'll be better at this than I am. And as you can see, it still needs one more piece of tape so that the twisting doesn't come undone. That would be very sad and very time consuming if we didn't tape them down. Ta-da! It's done, and it's fabulous, and it's simple. Thank you so much for participating in this wild, wild show of love. Okay, one last tip is after you have taped everything together and the M and the M are dangling off the ends with extra fairy lights, you take the loops that you've made and just cut them with a better pair of scissors so that you have the individual dangles such as this. There are no loops except for the M. I hope that's clear. If you have any questions, please give me a call. I love you. Thank you.